Real Madrid game no kwana because of smoke now mo to ye no. A delay again for some few seconds, and in future they need to consider that because simultaneous games, you know, say team being here points are not opposite who will be result. I will bet my two side be na delay match in a soon be 10 minutes. No who's we want shiny any home. In the area now quite affected. They should find a way to deal with that in future. Now, media me monitor games, you know, from the Champions League match center. Oh, me DSTV. So I was watching like 13 games at a time. Until me have fair idea about how all the games went. So this was quite similar to the way I go fi me hear a game, no. Okay. And bleacher football, ne, a lot of me hear picture be cry. No be a sector, a lot of phones. Any idea monitor from all angles. Any idea, but it was quite interesting. And Ronaldo, we had 64 goals in those 18 matches. Telling everybody Sampa, it was a very very busy night in that very day at Champions League, you know, last round of matches and Ebaso. Now reactions. Real Madrid coasted the Brest, and in a game that they needed to win, that is all that they needed to do. And after winning, no, Nankoma hope say it be a possibly Umbetimi qualify to the top 8 and now. Yes, how the games unfolded. Said go back, na league table na all the 36 in fact. Liverpool and Barcelona omo movie roller coaster moves Sanso na Arsenal and Inter Milan, Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, all those top 8, you know, exercise sign. The bottom 8, 7th and 8th position. Ehwana Atalanta ashe no aba, ehwana Atalanta elusu no asa conform sahana na net. So it was quite similar. But for Real Madrid, at no point and omo etimi move yombe omo tikura bet top 8 in. So it was quite obvious. Say 2% in there. Nya dey say betimi do omo remu in the top 8. They won by 3-0. And there were a lot of teams already league table now. Omo nya 15 points and nanko omo pe say teams ni bibe lusu at the top. Nanko omo etimi esa omo. It didn't happen that way. The game itself, I think in all the matches, you know, you could see sana be intensity, no, because no be any free games in Maba. So every game was like a final. Until the way our teams in England started with Ahwadre Enra for the first time in this very season. Men kai matches ayaba. First 10 minutes by a lot of goals like this. Yeah. Until it tells you the intensity of the matches across all the centers. And then Yansem Ketwa. Rodrygo goes. The special talent. In fact, Oko Real Madrid, that's how they call him. I'm afraid the special talent. And Ronaldo in that Madrid game was his night. He made sure, say, Obama penning for and I said, man for I recognize. You know, it was a game that we felt say it was going to be difficult, but Madrid had a way. Mbappe played very better, but the star was this guy, Rodrygo goes. It looks as if say or unlucky the new celebration, John Cena. You can't see me, you know. It is giving him a lot of life, bringing him a lot of goals and joy. And at a point, Rudiger helped him in that celebrations. Now when you celebrating, telling you something. There is a new goal celebration for Rodrygo goals. Any goal I bet him, when he said that's what he's gonna do. And then he had a very beautiful goal. Look at the first one, a typical goal of a proper talent. Or chamber on a remu and or 10 and then or call for that very carpet shot. And I'm on it to them. And then the opening game, you know, for Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham, of course, near assist contribution near the end. Always you see him scoring goals. And then on also another beautiful goal. On the Kylian Mbappe orchestrated a very beautiful run. Sago Mbappe na yan kabo ni bi, but he was a decoy, a player on the decap dodge pass. Emma Nikodi Abrante and the Jude Bellingham, and then almost a fast run. Esa be a game. Emma pass Cody Vasquez ball no. Mbappe na was and a Jude Bellingham ekabo and the two at them. Then comes Abrante and the Rodrygo goes with another band, a rebounder on also body to them. So he's had 2 goals in the last 2 games. Wash 4 goals. The performance, you know, ever. Always among 4 can say Amufili say he's highly disrespected. Again, Senko or ball left wing one consistently. The kind of goals, numbers near the other man. Was look at this. Where you're relevant and pay and no report about Emma detailed stats of Rodrygo goals this season. This is a player who was coming from a muscle injury. No one fit until December now. He was coming from injury, but I'm back here down. Look, this season matches our body positions. Unzo no otimibo center forward, first nine. Otimibo left, otimibo right. On the left, be Rodrygo. Among for viso jina how about better because about better or left see Vinicius no. Was started 6 matches was 6 goals, so I provided 5 assists.
Wow.
Crazy numbers. 11 goals contribution in only 6 matches or on the left. Now right, baby they be obo, but Mekasa it is because he's trying to fit in. And ideally we know a left winger. About 14 start, 5 goals, 2 assists. Now this is what started as a center forward 9 times, first 9. How do you own share go on assist here? So it tells you Sampa flanks and any white spaces, and any area, but the preferred area at the left wing, baby and Ojina. So Jina, well, you see that freedom. Sampa the penano, and it was a very difficult game. Madrid managed to get all the 3 points. Na enya sem ketwa. And almost say Rodrygo versus Brest. I'm saying, Krabani say man but over the day. Won, and then they are qualified to the playoffs. Likely so Ombeshia teams like Manchester City and Nasa Bayern. Now City started a game. It was very difficult. In fact, so already City 4-1. It wasn't the first time Anna Club Brugge for the counter attack Equation City. And when that goal late in the first half, my go no me fans because I couldn't believe it. Until now, person heard their fans in the say, "This is Etihad. Etihad at some point slaughterhouse. Yamba marrying But in a very important game, of Pep Guardiola and the boys in here win. Now first half against Club Brugge. Now Club Brugge at what in front of these huge fans. So fans are no crown. We hear more reaction. I know Muntimin Jindi said this is happening, but it was happening because City at the back even Pep Guardiola nihil days counter attack won't be defended. Monster didn't Pep Guardiola counter won't be prevented. Enti nenye na ni weakness defense Matthews Nunes hono obia with Real Madrid Vasquez hono a only weakness into obia buffer and then Club Brugge take key lead. Second half Savino the best game ni Oba game no or the different dynamics of a bomb modern Emma City for started say Omo take one on one case Savino had a go and then Omo take two. City had chances. Club Brugge decided somewhere prevented, but Man City won by 3-1. And also me can say they had 63% chance of qualification. And against Club Brugge, it was expected. Say game no yet den krana City Berry. Kovacic had a very good game, and of course, only the man of the match this very game. So it tells you say Kovacic improve here on when you go no share. He had options to pass, but he needed that equalizer badly. And a ball shot and far from Emma ball to him. And they City are qualified. Madrid are qualified. Now it is not getting any easier for City because on the table, Man City at also 22nd position. Real Madrid at also 11th. Now give me the table. Now me explain it here. Said here, omudi can hear a generation of group stage. Position be obedi be and be determined by beer obekone opponent ubeshia. And based on that, the dynamics say and the woman say Bianca ideal position na be share team no who share the group stage there untimi share no. And the another Friday draw ne beba so no. And it is good. Say you simulate here all the teams possible opponents. So now this is it. Real Madrid omo finish 11th. Omo ni team finish 12 Bayern Munich. Omo mienu ene ekoche team finish 21, any team finish 22. So Man City, Real Madrid, Celtic Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Celtic, any Man City. Obia beti menshi obia. Okay. But Real Madrid ne Bayern ntimi nhia omo ho. Okay. Sana Man City ne Celtic omo ntimi nhia omo. So Man City be share either automatically either Real Madrid or Bayern. So Man City ko share Real Madrid e kire say Bayern ebe share Celtic. Okay. So Man City ko share Bayern na e kire say Real Madrid ebe share Celtic. So no reactions na one. Me pe Carlo Ancelotti wanted to be honest. And you know say yes. So of course, if there is Celtic and there is City, Obiano will be person will be share City because City for now more difficult to play than Celtic. That is obvious. We've seen that. So he wanted to be very honest. I'm not officer as a coach, that's why you're ready for anything. But sometimes, or no, officer level now, what apex level now, or no, anything I'll back about football, no, sad game excellent, your man, what trust our level, no. So he speaks his mind. So if you're okay, or you're okay, or you're okay, or you're okay. Pep Guardiola said it. Say yes, they'll be meeting the kings of the Champions League, or either the third or the second king, which is Bayern, telling you that it is not getting any easier. So it means that they have to be ready. Now, say City for no Real Madrid. This will be the fourth consecutive time. Man City and Real Madrid about Champions League last season. Okay, Jude Bellingham born or then the nine control or Kwa born be place here. Somebody the Man City on the way. No, the Champions League. So clearly, it could be one fixture, and Champions League certain draws are bound to happen. Into where Finben so sad, they might meet them once by an Akosia Celtic. Of course, by name Madrid here. Obi abe pese, Obeshia Celtic, El Honum. Now, fair no tune chain. Any other games, you know. Barcelona. Any Atalanta game they indeed 2-2. I said it here. Say, and yes, Barcelona, sir. This is a Barcelona team that had like almost nothing to play for. Because second position, top 8, and and going into the Atalanta game, Atalanta needed this point to cement qualification. No? Yeah. Even they needed a win, but our Montjuic Stadium, it was always going to be difficult. In fact, game next started, and you could see Barcelona were playing. Yes, Atalanta were also playing, but na motivation na ya yehu hungry na yehu Barcelona. We were not seeing that. Of course, there were moments how you there football there, bar you have some moment to talk about. Bako, that pass at Rafinha, the only shield Lamine Yamal, and 1v1 versus the goalkeeper. In fact, my keeper not turn from saying team. And no cabo another two. Of course, on your man of the match in this Champions League, he exerted another prowess, just like Valencia game, no. And yeah, Valencia form quite a transform, and a lot of players or your but it was quite interesting. After first goal, no Atalanta, Barcelona scored, Atalanta equalized, and then Barcelona scored again, Atalanta equalized, and already we are not taking effect on the league table now. It was quite interesting. But you know, it ended 2-2. One of the most iconic moment I'm confocan was with Szczesny. Sa pass na Mario Pasalic, and I just saw pressing hard, and it was because or more preview information. Szczesny na can say teams na build from the back. Ebo highline on my keeper pass baby. No. On share the names are there no. And who your opponent now need team Kobono is keeper and man pass and home po. Particularly at the time Mbappe no you take advantage. A pressing goalkeeper no Makoja Bash. Yes. Any at the end of the day. You will do that. And after that, you know, or pressing and the keeper no on pass him, no war born so called corner. So I bet try pass or clear Simama Wabe Jashe. Corner, remember defenders make clear. So clearly, it was quite interesting. But game, no, and 2-2. It means that Barcelona made it to the top 8, same as Atalanta, Bergamasca. Unfortunately, I'm going to be a top 8. I'm going to 9. And now win, and I can be at the amount. I'm a for bisa. So I'm going to finish it top 8, you know. In fact, when you look at the table, Liverpool first, Barcelona second, Arsenal third. Arsenal for say I'm the third. Man for Inter, Basso, man for Liverpool, Basso, among Arsenal. It is because third and already they've qualified in the top 8. But what's special? Tell me. Inter, I'm considering only one goal. So you can talk about that. Liverpool, the new face of the Champions League, I'm gonna finish it first. You can talk about that. Yes, sir. And the so man for Arsenal at the end of the day. So sometimes it is like this. This will be Anka. And the brightest spot in the Arsenal team was Ethan Nwaneri. The first start in the Champions League, he scored. And at the back, they basis here. And even though positions now about Arsenal, top players, a bad dress Obenya start. Bukayo Saka, elbow right. Gabriel Martinelli, Onya from elbow left. Odegaard, elbow 10. But he will still have to find a way. Say any game of Bebono will be making a presence count. So in this Girona game, the brightest spot was Ethan Nwaneri. He did that. So that is what you can talk about. But in terms of position wise, Arsenal and Yababi or Kwakotowi, and there is where they are moving towards. Now Atletico Madrid had 4-1 away victory, and that 4-1 means that almost so. Etimiaka group numa top 8, you know, qualify automatically. Leverkusen, Lille, Aston Villa. These were the teams. Man, Villa game, you know. Aside the stories, in fact, the biggest was Ole Watkins penalty, you know, the 9-2 from na baby about penalty the fire, you know. But you won't fault him. Sometimes, I don't know if you listen, Kadena, or the bonnet or man money for but football is like that. Maybe running so man you match because similar penalty like that. So these were some of the things that happened in that game. But that's what Villa game was Morgan Rogers hat-trick. In fact, he's a very good talent. Sometimes goals in the man for recognize yes sir ball or banner Obita Morgan Rogers or Aston Villa. One man Villa different team, and I love the way Villa are playing because when you look at coach Unai Emery, this is a Villa team that has won the Champions League before. But I think about 32 years we've not seen them here. Now he's qualified them. Omo to the top 8. Automatically, a Kesefo no top 8, you know. Omo Kotenasia home. And if you had a draw never, omo do omo fa ho. 11 February, mo amoye bo playoff no mbebo. Mo betwa mo 25th. So that is how things are going to look like. PSG had an important victory because after that Kofi 4-2 win against Man City, they still needed to win to make a statement.
Yeah.
And and a secure qualification. So Bakola, they be a mechanic said there be na mechanic about him because my country was say he is that good talent. Oba you know position no be no responsibilities na Kylian Mbappe no responsibilities so but Oba you know he's been that good born on him bo I can say player young they are their development but to say Mbappe but in his own class he's that good. Now when you look at some certain teams Uko Italia apart from Bologna Inter qualified AC Milan qualified Juve qualified Juve for Sapa but they made it and then one other team 4 teams na qualify. Also, the 5 nearby. England all the 4 teams. Liverpool qualified. Aston Villa qualified. Arsenal qualified. And then Man City also qualified. It's only unfortunate. Said 3 teams from England make it to the top 8. But Man City now, man, for are strong. They couldn't make it to the top 8. So it was quite ironic. Could Spain, Girona and Timmy, but Real Madrid qualified. Barcelona qualified. Two of them, Atletico Madrid qualified. Barcelona and Atletico top 8. So see. In all, when you look at the teams that are qualified now, you realize that the Champions League is still on. Because I can see phone now, we are made it to the next stage. And they are failing here about Champions League, you know. What you say? I can see phone now, Man City womb, Bayern womb, Madrid womb, Dortmund womb, Barca womb, Inter womb, Atletico Madrid womb, or Liverpool womb. It is still Champions League, and that's so certain.
Okay.
It is shock BNC so far because a weaker teams na and then team qualified. Now Sporting for coaching there was when it's a Sporting were among the top 8 after first 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, including Man City 4-1. Ruben Amorim ko 1 draw, Omulusu 3, and now they nearly lost. Omulusu and Command qualified. In fact, Club Brugge was waiting for Dynamo Zagreb game, and these were some of the unpredictabilities so because after some Man City who saw my qualifier we Haaland no near there swap just or more jubilate near there Club Brugge had to wait to see say Dynamo Zagreb game results in Gina sa o qualify and the Etihad Stadium or onipa ba kukura phone technical team coach obi sa game no so referee the best 7 minutes almost and more but finally they made it because game they ended 2-1 for Zagreb. AC Milan that pass them there. But they qualify. So these were some of the unpredictabilities. Now let me explain where we are heading towards. Sedebeya Ubia Betiasi. And they Obia possible opponent obetimi ahia no. Ewa ha. And give me the other one no. Na memfa nchirechiri. Sedebeya ombehu top 84 no baby Obia be kwakohia. This is the main one. Ye ba beka ho asem. Medical career Madrid ne Man City de ntia no memo so bi. Team bi te say Sporting CP ne Club Brugge. Omo no possible opponent ombetimi afesi omo no. Atalanta and Dortmund.
Oh okay.
It ye che say Atalanta ne Dortmund no. Omo ntimi nhia omo ho. But omo mienu be che Sporting CP and Club Brugge. Means what you say? Good. Nti either Dortmund betimi nhia Sporting and obetimi ahia Club Brugge. Atalanta betimi ahia Sporting and obetimi ahia Club Brugge. Now so some teams omo che omo ho wie na omo be bo a. Onzi say mo amo be qualify no and they be call the next stage. Now this is how it is. While finishing on top of the table no.
Yes.
They be a be call away first. No be second leg go home. What does the meaning say clear? While always we be finish on top no. One be call away first. No when your advantage about second leg. Now we were talking about Dortmund, Atalanta, and Omukoche Club Brugge and Sporting. No, say some teams in etimi bo omo hu no omo wi a. un say 4 teams inti benya 2 matches inti ba mienu be qualify mienu na be qualify na be kwa koche Aston Villa ni Lille Metropole because omo mienu finish in the top 8 now because omo so finish on top no omo so be ba ho away first no ma be home second inti Barcelona no finish first and second no enei se Barcelona teams na say qualify we are Barcelona be ba ho first no abeba oni fie second Liverpool no finish on third on first no ono so say our advantage say wo na be qualify through the playoff no oba be ho first no abo second leg on home enti Barcelona and Liverpool do omo so betimanya ni on say Monaco ene Brest baby omo to ye ni nti omo no be che PSG ene Benfica now e che say PSG ni Benfica ntimi nhia
yes
Monaco so ne Brest intiminsia but PSG they definitely obeshia French opposition because obeshia either Monaco and Brest
okay
ena Club Brugge so ba kon aka no ono be fa enti say Club Brugge shene de a ono so be kwa share either Barcelona na say Liverpool say PSG sha obeshia either Barcelona na Liverpool so eno po round of 16 no te say the Real Madrid ne Bayern ne ayimu de ne tie another huge game Barcelona Liverpool ba ko ebe share top team possibly say PSG sha honom now uko AC Milan side hon so a AC Milan any PSV Eindhoven omo finish 13 and 14 omo ne be che Juventus any final 19th and 20th and the AC Milan betimi share Italian opposition Juve sounds na PSV Eindhoven betimi share ni Chrome opposition final and now say yes say ya na say AC any final bebo na Juve any PSV Eindhoven abo so 2 matches na there 2 na be qualify say 2 qualifier omo kwa share top 8 for no Arsenal our finish 3rd any Inter finish 4th no so 2 no draw na ba omo kwa che omo it omo kwa che omo it is either say man say Juve ni AC Milan na qualifier it is either Arsenal be share AC Milan na Inter share Juve and as Inter be share AC Milan na Arsenal share Juve ndi you see how ebeyen eno so no because Arsenal and Inter finishing within the top 8 you know omo no bebo away first o meba ho no ma bebo second leg o mo fie say the playoff no unze playoff no 9th to 24th no omo finish first 8 no which is 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 omo finish ho no omo no be ko ho away first no ma bebo home second like Real Madrid Asia either Man City and answer Celtic Real Madrid be ho first no be second one because omo kwase omo osoro on say the omo table so that is the reason why until omo be draw no because as simulator me potential opponents in there but you have to see say why na be go home first why na be go away first assist to the final this is the reason why Tiania can say finish first or finish second every position I be finish no e want the advantage okay and that is what unfolded and you know this is what happened and Bleacher Football for running up MIA say after 64 goals in 18 matches we had 3 hat-tricks of course Lautaro Martinez the man who has become the 5th all-time scorer for Inter did it for Inter Milan amunya red card Monaco for no muntimi mokra Inter were too strong wo fie obo hat-trick Ole Watkins about no Morgan Rogers hat-trick and one other player I think the PSG game Dembele hat-trick okay and 3 red cards Liverpool finished on top and then Man City finally survived so these are the news and then the stories of what unfolded and Rana Joanna and Yansen Ketwa so all about the Champions League we group phase 11th 12th about first leg of the playoffs now for in a week ya ball return encounter na ya hu omu ko shia Barcelona mo round of 16
Mate me da say enti na we say